Folks, good morning and welcome to Best Stock Charts for the new trading week. This week, we're going to be talking about Boeing, the XLI, which is the industrial ETF, IWM, the small cap ETF, Dollar General, extreme oversold stock, as well as Commvault Systems, which is an extreme overbought stock. So let's first begin with a quick overview about the market. On Thursday night Stock Charts Live, is it time to buy gold? I mentioned that I believed that what we were going to see was an increasingly bullish market. However, that the market participation would broaden out. In fact, here's what I had to say on June the 1st, because I am concerned about the market. Now, I'm going to talk bullishly about the market by and large on a weekly time frame. We're going to go over the weekly charts, how we poised to close out the week. And by and large, I think that with respect to the S&P 500, we could quite very well move up higher from here. I don't know how much more upside there is short term for the Qs. I think that you're beginning to see a little bit of sector rotation out of Qs into other names. And sure enough, as we take a look at the performance of the major averages last week, and you keep in mind, I'm going to bring up the Qs here. Obviously, it's not the S&P 500, but it's been the leadership group of late. And on a weekly time frame, it returned a respectable 1.79%. Bravo, good stuff, right? But when you take a look at SPY, it outperformed the triple Qs for the first time in quite some time, returning 1.88%. So a narrow beat, but as you drill down and you take a look at IWM, the story gets a lot better, up 3.33% and clearly a breakout on a weekly time frame. So I think this validates what I was saying on Thursday night, is that we should expect to see a broadening out of market participation, and that's exactly what we got on Friday. So let's begin with our first chart, which is the XLI. Now, the XLI is an ETF. It's the Industrial Select Spider ETF. And here are the top 10 holdings. If you want to pause and take a look, broadly diversified. And with the level of cash here, you can see that they are fully invested. Not a huge exposure to the financials, which did do okay on Friday. But clearly, there's still some concern about the financials out there. So this pure play here on the industrials, I really like as you proceed into the new trading week. Now, I'm going to talk about the weekly setup and on the week ahead commentary with members in a little while. I'm going to be doing a deeper dive on all of these names, going over the daily chart, monthly chart, intraday charts to see where we want to potentially get long of the XLI, perhaps as soon as this coming Monday, where I do send out trade alerts. Now, XLI weekly time frame, you could see that we broke out. We had an outside reversal bar on the week, very bullish setup. And if you're not familiar with the terminology I'm using, simply go down to the video description area below, and you'll see a link to my 5-part video tutorial on my top 5 favorite candlestick patterns. And I will explain in that 5-part series what is a outside reversal bar or a bullish engulfing bar, doji star formation, etc. So on the week, we had a clear breakout on volume. That's what really matters here to me, is that we broke out on volume. Stochastics, which are a momentum indicator, not a couple of squiggly lines. This is implying that what we have here on a weekly time frame is a higher low. Now, what we want to see is a breakout on momentum to new higher highs. Now, we may get a pullback early this coming week and do a retest of the breakout point. So what I want to do here is create an alert and let me know whether or not we have a retest and we could step into the breach on that pullback and perhaps open up a small position and then add more on a continuation breakout higher. And we'll set this up 30-minute candlestick, and we'll keep this active for 20 days. And we're good to go. Now, in terms of seasonality, Let's take a look at how XLI performs in June. And to be fair, and this is a good amount of data, 25 years, this is a monthly chart of seasonality, and by far, June is the worst month for the XLI going back 25 years. Now, as we proceed into the new trading week, you can see that the new trading week is fairly strong, and the following week as well, but then it drifts off. So this is, you don't want to trade off of this per se, but it's something to have in the back of your mind, and it could influence your position sizing and or the duration of the trade. Now, one of the components of the XLI is Boeing, and Boeing I really like here. It's had a very long consolidation, and as I always like to say, the longer the consolidation, the greater the validation of any breakout on the stock. And what you're looking at here is a very large cup, almost a saucer with handle formation or an inverted head and shoulders setup. Call it cupcakes, call it what you want. All it is here is a very sound base. Here's your left shoulder, here's your cup, here's your right shoulder. And what we're looking for here is a breakout on Boeing. And you can see that what we did last week is that we did have a breakout out of a secondary resistance level. The primary resistance level is going to be up here at 219.57. You can see I already have an alert set up for that breakout. And as we take a look at what our momentum indicators are implying, stochastics are hooking up. They're looking very, very good. And volume last week was very strong. This is what we're looking for, a building of momentum. We want to see institutional accumulation, which we see vis-a-vis volume, and a breakout out of a strong, sound base. And in terms of seasonality, June is a very strong month going back 50 years, up 62% of the time. So the probabilities are in your favor. At weekly view, the next couple of weeks are seasonally strong going back 19 years. And by the way, folks, we're using TrendSpider Automated Technical Analysis. Use the link below and get a 30% discount off of your subscription. They have a 7-day free trial offer. I also give it away free to our silver and gold level members. So Boeing looking very strong here. And again, I'm going to be going over the daily chart and the intraday charts with members. We'll be talking about a trade setup on the week ahead commentary coming out later on today. Now, the next chart I want to talk about is the IWM. Now, these are your small caps. And you can see that they have been bouncing along the lower band of support for several weeks. So it goes back to the adage that the longer the consolidation, the greater the validation of any breakout. And sure enough, we broke out last week above this 9-period moving average on a monthly time frame. You may be saying, wait a minute, you're looking at a weekly chart here, Bob. Well, what TrendSpider allows you to do is to overlay on a weekly chart monthly support and or resistance levels and moving averages, so you can put into context what other resistance levels or support levels you may have on a weekly time frame. It's the same holds true for a daily time frame. So it's a very powerful tool. Now, on the week, again, we closed above the 9-period moving average. We closed up on volume. We closed near the highs of the week. And the same holds true for Boeing and XLI, a very strong close on the week. And what also matters here is that you should note that this volume shelf on a weekly time frame, which the upper end would normally act as a resistance level, we broke out above it on the week. So the small caps, which have really underperformed dramatically along with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the triple Qs clearly began to shine last week. And I think there's more upside here as the Qs have come a long, long way and appear to be losing a little bit of steam relative to the small caps, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, the next chart we're going to go over, we're going to flip to a daily chart. And the reason is I want to illustrate the why behind the trade. Now, what you're looking at here is Commvault Systems. And we're going to flip from Stokes to RSI. And you can see that on Friday, we closed out the day with an RSI reading of 86.45, putting it in nosebleed overbought territory. Does that mean it can't move up higher this coming week? No, I fully expect it to move up higher. This is a very, very bullish chart. The caveat is that it's also unsustainable. So a few things that we'll be looking at here are a decline in volume. We saw that on Thursday, but it resumed higher on Friday. We broke out above not one resistance level, but two. One resistance level right here is the top of this volume shelf. The second is this resistance level immediately above. So I think we could easily proceed higher up and into $74, $75 per share. But what I'm going to be talking about later on with members is on a weekly and monthly time frame, where do we have probable sellers above? Where do we have, if any, overhead supply? Because we know that if we begin our bear operations on Commvault systems, especially if it continues up to that $74, $75 per share handle, then we know that we're going to have a lot more sellers of like mind looking to lean into the short side, helping us out with our trade. There's no way on God's green earth right now that I would look to short this stock on Monday morning unless it had a serious gap up. And this would not be a long-term trade. This would be a trade of probably maximum a week. We scalp our profits to the short side. If it pulls down to support, heck, we just may be buyers. All we want to see is this overbought condition on RSI, which again is unsustainable. We want to see that remedied. Now, to the flip side, the next chart we're going to go over is Dollar General. I love Dollar General. But as you can see here, Dollar General has gotten hammered. I believe this is on earnings. So this is a binary event. RSI at current is at 17.91. It was lower. Is this the bottom? I'm not quite sure yet. What I need to do is later on with members is go over the chart weekly, monthly, perhaps even quarterly to take a look and see where we have buyers of like mind below, because this, again, is unsustainable. We will get a counter trend rally. Does that mean that longer term Dollar General won't break to new lower lows? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that what you have here is a setup for a short covering rally. The question is, are we at historical support? The price action on Friday implies that perhaps we do have historical support below, or could it have been just some profit taking by shorts on a Friday afternoon? We don't know yet. Now, if you have questions about these charts, we'll be going live on Sunday Night Futures Live here on YouTube and on Twitter. So please feel free to ask me questions there. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe button, and get notified of us when we go live. And if you're on our email list, if you subscribe to our 5-part video tutorial of our top 5 favorite candlestick patterns, well, you're going to get alerted about 45 minutes prior to us going live. And we also have a 30-minute chart club, which I'll probably do later on today. We'll go live at 2 p.m. and we'll take a look at the top 30 or so charts that I like on a 30-minute time frame. We'll upvote them, the top 4. Sometimes we go to 6 that we like going into the new trading week. So join us there. There's a link below if you want to join in. That's by invitation only. And the reason is that it's a private live stream. And what it does is allows us to focus purely on the names at hand. Great conversation, great people. And it also avoids some of the spam we get on the live stream. So please feel free to join us there. And again, we should be going live today at 2 p.m. Folks, don't forget, TrendSpider, 30% discount code below, and I give it away free to our silver and gold level members. Members, we are going to be going into the week ahead commentary soon, talking about the names we just went over, but in greater detail. So please keep an eye on your email or the members area for that commentary. And the commentary also goes over the closing price action of the major averages. Where do I believe the markets are going this trading week? We'll also talk about our positions. So to everybody else, we'll talk to you on Sunday Night Futures Live. Till then, have an awesome, awesome remainder of your weekend. Be well.